In this video, we're going to be using the club, the graveyard, and the timeless. This is the stainless steel slim edition. Stay tuned. Hey there, folks, and welcome back for another video. I'm your host, CDB. Thanks so much for joining me again today. I really appreciate it. And we have a special one today, and it might go a little long because I got a lot of things to do today. I got to try to withstand Strong Enabling by Marion the Barbarian. We'll get into that. But we're also going to be using today, for the first time, the timeless. Now, what's different in this is the plate. Top cap the same, handle the same. The plate is different. And Timeless sent the plate, or actually two plates. These are their brand new, just released, now available on their website, which I will link below. Stainless steel slim edition. And as you can see there, really slim. The machining on this is really incredible. Actually, they use I wrote it down, a EDM machine. To cut these plates, and I got a little washer on here, but I want to show you those incredible lather channels. The finish on that is absolutely superb. It's like a mirror finish. Let me show you the plate itself. The machining is just incredible. That is very slim, as you can see there, and they've got it laser engraved to say timeless. And this is 0.5 on the blade gap. This is meant to be aggressive. So they cautioned me that, hey, this is an aggressive plate, and we'll be using this one today. And we'll also be using, in the future, the open comb variety. But man, I must say, when I got these plates and I looked at them, I was like, wow, these are very well done. There's no machining marks of any kind. And again, I don't know the technology that they use. They say they use let me find it on my notes here, the EDM machine to cut, and then they machine the rinse ports, CNC, which are these right here, these rinse ports, and just incredible design, and it looks incredibly good. So let's go ahead and load a blade in this razor. Now, we're going to be using the Graveyard by Ariana and Evans as well. Here's our blade, this Astra SP that we're going to put in here. Not going to talk a ton about the Graveyard today, because it's not really available. I guess it's already completed its run. I have already selected someone to give it away to, so I'll be giving it away. But we're going to use it before we give it away. And so there is our top cap, and this is just a standard scalloped top cap by Timeless. And we'll put our blade in there. It's got the nice notches that hold the blade in very nicely. And then I'm going to slide our slim plate on there. And I'm using one of those little washers. I talked to Matt at Timeless about it and got his feelings on it, and they have a pretty long thread. So I don't think it's one of those situations where with the Timeless razors with their long thread that you're gonna hurt the razor in any way by using a washer. And Matt from Timeless had no problem with people using the washers. And the reason I use that washer is just so it doesn't make marks on that beautiful finish. So there is our razor loaded with the blade. And again, this is supposed to be an aggressive devil, so we will use care today. Slight bit of blade overhang there. That has never been a problem for me at all. Really slim, and it's designed to get better under your nose, which obviously isn't a problem for me, but we look forward to using the Timeless. Again, it is the stainless steel slim edition, SSSE, I think, or something like that. Anyway, so here's the enablement part. So here we have a bag, which old school That Darn Rob, and you know the old That Darn Rob brushes, we all wish he still had That Darn Rob logo, which you see there. Marion sent this to me. He knows I love blue. He knows I love the old school That Darn Rob. And I'm telling you, when it comes to enabling, a lot of people get credit for enabling, but Marion, he enables to a level that's incredible. He just doesn't send you a link. Like, products show up and it's like, hey, I thought you might like this. And if you want to buy it from me, I'll make you a good deal. 24-hour growth today. I'm going to go ahead and start today by just using this pre-shave, because I want to use the brush a little bit on this pre-shave just to get a feel for the brush and figure out whether or not I'm going to be enabled. And by the way, that black spot there is just some of the pre-shave, but have no fear, we'll work that in. And I just want to get a feel for this brush and decide whether or not I like it. And again, I'm going to try to withstand temptation. So I'm just going to try to work this pre-shave in a little bit with this brush, just to sort of get a feel for it. And then I have not prepared a lather today. I normally do, because I want to sort of get a feel for the brush while lathering. And again, it'll give me some additional time to talk about the razor today that we're using, which is Timeless. And I want to mention something else about Timeless. When they send something, the packaging is always first rate. It comes in a box like this. It has their cutouts, and you see the other plate in there. They sent the 2 plates in this box. And there is a stand as well. Excellent packaging. It always comes with care instructions, which you see here. And there's, notes about their offering, as well as a microfiber cloth to use to, wipe your razor off without scratching it, and so on and so forth. And I think that is outstanding. So here we have our graveyard loaded up. Again, the club graveyard, no longer available. I think it's done its run for this year. One thing I will mention, I think people have already mentioned it. These labels are, I don't care for them. There's a bunch of air bubbles in them. You can't see them. Well, maybe you can, depending on the light. But they also seem to be like, you can feel that they might come off. So you see how that corner right there is beginning to come off. And I think Pete is working on that as well. I think it's been mentioned, and I think he intends to correct it. But we got a load on our bowl. I'm gonna wet the brush a little more and just start loading up here. And then we're gonna try sort of a semi-face lather. I don't face lather much. But today, I wanted to sort of put this brush through its paces a little bit and try to determine if I'm going to be enabled by Marion. And I did use this brush already on my head, and I did like it. And so I'm worried that I'm going to be enabled, because I don't really want to spend the money, to tell you the truth. But I don't know if I'm going to be able to resist, honestly. So, because I think I will like this brush. My initial thoughts were I thought the loft might be set a little too low for my liking, but we'll see. Okay, so we've got a load on. Oh, another thing I want to mention is, oftentimes when I'm rinsing things and wiping my hands, this is what I'm using. I have 3 or 4 of these, and I've had these for probably 4 or 5 years. And these are what I use every day when I'm wiping my razor or wiping the counter or wiping my hands, the Timeless. And all this stuff from Timeless is made in America, which is great. Almost everything they produce is made in the US, and they make a concerted effort to do that. And I already got lather running down my hand there. So we'll see. And again, we're not going to judge the looks of the lather today based on this brush, because you know me, this is a brand new knot to me, and I'm not familiar with using it. And so I expect it's probably going to eat a little lather relative to my normal synthetic offerings. And that's okay, because you really have to use a brush, especially a natural hair brush, for a little while to sort of take to it. And I'm expecting that this knot would probably take a little time for me to figure out. It's pretty dense. Feels good though, it's nice and soft. When I used it on my head, I was pretty well impressed with it. Marion said he thought it was set a little too low for him, which kind of made me worry, but so far, no problems. And so my nose is itching already today. Again, we're freaking 8 minutes in and we've done no shaving. So let's get to shaving, because that's what a lot of people want to see. So let's take our first few strokes here. That feels nice. Oh, wow. I was expecting that to feel, based on my conversation with Tim, and Tim, or excuse me, not Matt, Tim. Matt, not Tim, I'm sorry. Losing my mind. I was caught up in the zen of how that felt. 0.5 blade gap here, but Timeless calls this an aggressive offering. And I can feel that it's efficient. But, man, that feels quite smooth. I'm surprised. When I talked to Matt, he was like, don't press, don't use much pressure at all. And he was like, it took me a few shaves to get the hang of it. And I'm feeling like I'm liking it already because it just feels, so there is some blade feel here. But to me, now keep in mind, folks, I prefer a little more blade feel. To me, I'm getting blade feel, but it's not feeling rough. And roughness is what I don't like. So some razors you get blade feel, but it feels rough. This one, so far, does not feel rough at all. And that is very much to my liking. So this is a pleasant surprise, because in talking to Matt, he's like, you got to be careful. This one is aggressive, and it feels efficient to me, but it doesn't feel crazy aggressive, meaning that feel of blade on your skin that just feels like, you got to be careful with it. This one is coming across to me as smooth, but efficient. And so I am liking it on that first pass. That was quite good. So I would say pleasantly surprised there. I was actually expecting a lot more blade feel. By the way, the Graveyard, I didn't talk much about. It's in Kaizen 2 base. Again, since it's not available and I'm already giving it away to someone, I'm not going to drone on about it, but it is good quality. No question about it. And so despite my being completely new to this knot, the soap we know is going to be a home run. It's Ariana & Evans. They don't make any bad soaps. The scent on this, if you've been wondering, maybe you're looking for it on BST. Part of the reason I can't bring you the information on this is it was already taken down from the club website. So I can't even tell you what the notes are or anything because it's removed. There's no information for me to gather. But to me, it smells like powdery black licorice. You kind of get that anise smell, while also powdery. Scent strength, I call it about 6, above medium. The quality is going to be first rate. It is Ariana & Evans. That's what we expect. So the only criticism that I would sort of give today from the soap perspective is, well, actually 2 things. I don't care for the label, the way it's kind of bubbly and coming apart or will come off easily, it looks like. And since that's already off the website, I can't give you the details on it. Now, I was a little bit late getting it because I was gone and I didn't get in on it on the first run. So I was late to the party. And then by the time I returned from Charlotte and got around to using it today, the information's not on the website, or at least it wasn't as of when I checked yesterday. So I just can't give you very many details. The cost on it, under $5 an ounce, which is a fair price. And so all that stuff is good. It's Ariana & Evans. Quality is going to be there, no question about it. Going to be slick. Many people say it provides for a good post. I don't evaluate that personally. It's not important to me, but anyway, those are the details on the soap as much as I can give based on what's available. I don't dislike the scent, but this is not a scent that I would gravitate to. It certainly doesn't smell like a Graveyard though. So if you're worried about it being one of those Halloween type scents that smells horrible, it does not. Just got a, to me, powdery black licorice is sort of how I would characterize it. Man, this is nice. I'm really surprised. Not that it's good, but what surprises me is how smooth this feels to me. Because again, I talked to Matt yesterday. I was asking him about the razor and he was like, yeah, this one, it took me a few shaves to dial it in, and it's meant to be very slim and it's meant to be aggressive, and they market it as aggressive and tell you not to use pressure. And I'm going to tell you, this feels quite smooth to me. It's not marketed as being smooth, but this is a pleasant surprise, being smooth. And I'm going to mention today that I'm going to be traveling again. So it'll be difficult for me to keep up with the comments and also watching videos. I'll be leaving probably Saturday. And so please bear with me if I'm not able to watch some of your videos, fellow content creators. But I will be tied up again with family. So hope you'll forgive me in that respect. Okay, let's keep it going today. Boy, what a smooth shave. So far, the soap, it's as expected. Excellent, no problems whatsoever. The brush, I'm pleasantly surprised. Let's hydrate first. I don't actually mind this knot. I thought I would, but I don't mind it. And I'm sure that if I used it more, that I would get more familiar with it and do a better job with it. But again, today we're not trying to put on a lathering showcase. We're just trying to get the lather on our face and really think about how this razor is working. Now the cost on these, the timeless offerings, again, made in the US, and they make their own products. They don't send these out to be machined. So Timeless is not contracting this out. They run the shop. They're making these products themselves. These are not inexpensive plates. The one I'm using today is $85. So that is not inexpensive. It is a premium. It's meant to be premium, so keep that in mind. If you're looking for budget offerings, you know, I always say go Razor Rock, maybe Carve, Rockwell. When you get into the premium realm, like your Carbons, Timeless, so on and so forth, you're stepping up the price, you know. What I will say with this one is, these folks are making this in the US, they're doing it themselves. And so I think that's very nice. And they really try to make everything in the United States, which is also a plus for me. And so it's always up to you what you think is, you know, affordable or not. This one is not inexpensive, the plates, so keep that in mind. But I will say, if you already have a timeless razor, these plates are interchangeable with all their current offerings. So if you already have a timeless razor, you're good to go. You can just order one of the plates or both or whatever you want, or none. It's up to you. But I've been pleased with this from the perspective of a first run. No problems whatsoever. I definitely prefer this over the BBS razor that I used the other day. And you know I like Razor Rock offerings in stainless. But the blade feel and efficiency of this one, I much prefer it to the Razor Rock BBS, which I used the other day. Very nice. Wow. Yeah, you get blade feel, you get good efficiency, but to me it doesn't feel rough. And so I did not know what to expect when I talked to Matt, because he was very cautious about saying, you know, it might take a few shaves to dial in. And to me, I feel right at home with it on my first run here. So that's always good. Very nice. A little bit of feedback there. I was trying to be quiet for a moment so you can hear that. You know me, I don't leave a lot of dead air on these videos deliberately. I'd like to keep the conversation moving at all times. I want to wish Todd from Take Care Man a happy birthday. I forgot to mention it yesterday. I've just been so preoccupied with everything that's going on that I forgot to mention that. Also, old man Steve Walker, who's 57 years old now. Todd is 50, by the way. So Todd from Take Care Man, happy birthday. Please go check out Todd. If you would, give him a sub. He would appreciate it. 50 years old. And Steve Walker had a birthday a few days ago. 57. Looks pretty good for 57, doesn't he? Old man Walker. All right. I gotta say, from the first run, I'm pretty happy with this timeless, slim. It did a good job, good efficiency, still smooth with the Astra SP blade I put in it. So pretty happy with that. All right, let me rinse. We'll come back, get into the post. Stay tuned. And all right, here we are, back with the Magic Made by Witches. Thayer's Witch Hazel. This is the cucumber variety. And I got to tell you, this was an excellent first run with the Timeless. This is the stainless steel slim edition, available now. I will link it below. This was just the first run. Keep it tuned here because I'm going to use the OC plate. I'll be taking these with me when I travel. You'll see much more about these. I'll continue to give you my thoughts as I use them. But for my first run, thumbs up. Good blade efficiency, good blade feel, still smooth. That's always a plus for me. The Graveyard, which again, no longer available at the moment at Ariana and Evans. Maybe you find it on a BST. I'm giving this one away to Jeremy Tyler, the traveling shaver. I asked him if he'd like to check it out, and he said yes, so I'll be sending this your way, Jeremy. The That Darn Rod, which is now chisel and hound. Oof. Have I been abled? I'm pretty close to it, honestly, because I do really like this brush. Captain's Choice was the bowl. And we're going to finish off today with Ariana and Evans, the Undersea, just because I love this scent so much, and it's blue, kind of like the Graveyard was bluish and the brush. And we're just going with the blue sort of theme today, but this is a fantastic scent. The Undersea is one of the best aquatic scents that I've ever used. It is superb, and I'm going to take this soap and splash with me because I just love this scent. So I want to thank everybody for watching. Thanks to Timeless for sending the new slim plate. I had a great first run with it. Again, keep it tuned here for more action on these and evaluation. Thank you all for watching. I really appreciate it. I've been your host, CDB, and I'm reminding you, it's your shave, do it your way, and as always, God bless.